So we'll begin by feeling the back side of the body, breathing into, aligning, elongating, sensing the back side of the body. So we can take this to be from tailbone, up the spine side, back of the head, top of the skull. We'll take 2 extraordinarily deep breaths. Let's go for just feeling the inhale reach that fullness place. Pause. And then inhale a little bit more. And then exhale all that out. This can be done by relaxing the rib muscles or by engaging the abdominal muscles. And once more. Remembering that pranayama is always done with care, never force. Never, never force. And then we'll resume our Ujjayi breath. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side. We're going to get going into eagle. Exhaling the left elbow over the right. The left over the right. Now, if you lift the elbows about 1 inch, you can nest your forehead in your forearms, giving you some feeling access into the backside of the neck. Please feel free to use that to help you sense breathing into the back of your brain, the back of your neck. And then inhaling, unwind the arms, reach them all the way out to the sides, and moving to the other side, exhale, right over left. And once again, if it feels lovely to do so, allow the head to be held by the arms. Breathing into the tops of the shoulder blades. And inhaling, unwind arms. We'll switch the cross of the legs. Low. And the hands will go fingertips to the ground, palms face away. And be very light, especially if your body's still a little chill, if it's just a time of day where these tissues feel a little chilly yet. Be ultra mild. There's really not a whole lot of reason we need to smash and force cold tissues. Be really sweet with those. I find colder structure moves in a very different way than warm structure. And we'll release. Place your right hand down on the ground, inhaling, drawing the left arm up, spreading the heel of the palm, exhaling, moving and lifting the palm away from the elbow, moving the upper arm bone away from the shoulder blade. And though this is much milder than eagle, that spreading of the upper back, there's still that quality of breathing into the back side. So can you feel for that, feeling the breath in the back of the left lung? Surrounding the heart. It's kind of a sweet image. Each breath swaddles the heart. Good. Inhale, come up right. Left arm come up. Torso come up. Here's the other side. Left hand down. Inhale, draw that right arm up. Spread the heel of the palm. Exhaling, reach palm away from elbow. Reach upper arm bone away from shoulder blade. And inhale, we'll bring that right arm up over the trunk up. Let's lie back. We'll be doing some abdominals. Have a roll or a block nearby, whichever you love. Right. So we'll bring the feet off the ground, the knees over the hips, and we'll interlace hands behind head. Inhale, head and shoulders off the ground. And pause right here, shifting the tailbone, which is an elongation move for the back side. So feel for that. Exhale, left leg out reaches. Moving the thigh bone away from the pelvis. Draw low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone. Exhale, right leg reaches out. Feel the thigh bone lifting away from the pelvis. Draw the low belly down. Let's just do a few more. We'll do about 4 more per side. It's about getting that dynamic breath, feeling into these organs. Starting to straighten and reach and contract and express the leg structure. When bringing the head and the shoulder blades up, let the shoulders come up with the head. There's that way of lifting up, staying up, that engages the entire front line of the body. And there's another way of coming up or just kind of doing a head move. So you're finding the lift that engages that entire front side of body. Some of us will feel this on the surface level, and some of us will feel that more closely to the spine. It's both. So it's not just about the head, it's not just about the shoulder blades. There's an entire front line of connection. As we're engaging with it, the backside tends to open, soften, or lengthen. Good. We're in a good spot. Grab your roll or your block, whatever prop you're using for between the legs. We'll go right into that. With the object between the legs, starting with the head on the ground, or really on the supported in the hands on the ground. Inhale into low back and into the low ribs, letting that breath kind of stroll up the back side of the body. You feel like the backside spreading on the ground. Squeeze the object. Splay the foot bones. And now exhale, float the head and the shoulders up, using as much of that front line of feeling to elevate as you can find. When I'm feeling for my entire front line, it's, to me, feels like from throat to pubic bone. It's really a whole front of body feeling. It's not just a neck move. And then inhaling, feel that entire front line soften as we set the head down, as we ease off the pressures. Pause, squeeze the object, and then exhale. And we float, feeling from the throat all the way down to the pubic bone. And this is just a practice. You may not feel this superficially or deeply or as a whole front of body connection, but we can certainly lay the track of attention through the front side of the body, a most vital bit of real estate. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, setting a head down. Feeling the unwinding, feeling the expansion and the softening of that front line. Squeeze the object. Tailbone. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades up. You can feel a connection from the deep, deep throat mouth area to the tailbone. That whole front line of the body condensing gradually, increasingly. The back side of the body lengthening, drawing the low belly down as a further kind of expressing and condensing of that front line. And so when we take that inhalation, feel how that inhalation originates right where? Setting the head down, the front line expands, the pressure comes off the roll. It's kind of this unfurling from the deep central front of core. And then we apply that squeeze, exhaling. That entire front line condenses and gathers. As a result, the head and the shoulder blades lift. So the whole torso from head to tailbone is respiring. Pulling low belly down. So let's do 2 more like this. So it's not about lifting the head up, pulling the belly down. It's helping the entire vital tract of our deepest, innermost structure. Remember those essential respiratory movements of condensing, gathering inward. It kind of looks like balling up. I almost think of how leaves kind of gather in, curl in. Little fiddlehead ferns, they just kind of coil in. And then there's that uncoiling and that unfurling. Just that we get to participate in this pulse of life, the macro, the micro. And when you're done with those couple, we'll set the feet down. Perfect. Let's turn onto a side and we'll get into dolphin. I always love when photographers will take those images of trees and plants over the course of an entire 24-hour cycle or several cycles, and you see just how much they just open and close and open and close per day. It's inspiring. So here we are set up for dolphin. Inhale into the sides and the back of the ribs. The front line expanding with breath. Curl the toes under. Exhale the knees off the ground. Dolphin. Ow. Feeling the ribs lifting up from between those upper arm bones. So now the arm bones are rather stationary, and we can sense the shoulder blade and the ribs lifting, moving up from those arm bones. Feel the spine bones growing away from the skull. As the legs lift or rather draw the sit bones away from the brain. And gently set knees down. We'll slide the hands under the shoulders, inhaling. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, we'll step left foot forward, warrior two. And exhaling, the shoulders soften away from the jaw, the palms gently broaden, fingertips moving away from the wrist. So part of that front of body in front of the neck. So if you're listening to your Ujjayi breath, you'll feel and you'll hear that the technique and the sound is being created around the soft palate and then a little bit beneath that, lower than that. Open that area up by aligning that over your pelvis, one of my concerns, and you can just feel this in your body and feel what you're doing, is that we allow that front of neck to collapse to create more of that ujjayi restriction sound. Open up through the front of the neck and throat. You'll hear the ujjayi sound without pushing our body parts together, without collapsing the throat area. So it's it's a very light ujjayi. It's a lightly created sound, musculature and sound. Extended warrior. Inhale, take this left forearm to the thigh. We'll do this with a chest opener, so we raise the right arm. And then exhaling, lift through the right arm. Now, how do we relax the neck without collapsing the throat? We'll have to study that. I think that's such an important feature to suss out in your body. Ujjayi isn't just working against the weight of your collapsed head and neck. It's not the sound of trying to get breath through a collapsed neck. The throat area can be open. The neck can be relaxed. And the ujjayi creation, the sound creation, can be softly worked. It's work, but it's exquisitely soft work. Inhaling, bring this right hand behind back, latching onto thigh or waistband. And exhaling as I draw that right arm backward, lightening the shoulder area and the right side of the throat. Pressing the legs outward. Just letting that breath work all the way up through the neck and the jaw and the ear. These are highly correlated vestibular structure. So these areas are all interlinked to how we orient to our environment. And we'll release right hand. Inhale, set it down to the ground. Exhaling, left foot back. And as we lower, I'm kind of pulling the knuckles beside our chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Inhale the right foot forward, warrior two. It occurs to me that this ujjayi and this mouth and throat area, also something that might interest you to feel and play with in conjunction with any of the abdominal work, even the lying on the roll work, which you may enjoy and love. But feel those deep, like the deeper beginnings of that gut tube might be interesting. So you can just feel around. There's, I think, a very, there's a statistically high probability that We're letting our head drop down to create this perception of a lengthened back of neck, when in fact we might just be collapsing the front of our throat and creating more just struggle around breathing. So feel for the openness of the front of the throat, supported by the openness of the back of the neck. And if the Ujjayi sound gets lighter, great. Here's that extended warrior chest opener. Inhale, we go right forearm to thigh. Exhaling, left arm skyward. And again, you might just have to play if you're created a habit of dropping the chin into the collarbone, that might be collapsing the front of the throat area. And inhale, bring the left arm down behind the back, latching onto thigh or waistband. Just letting that breath be absorbed by the throat structure, the neck structures. So we're in carotid territory, we're in scalene and neck and jaw territory and chest. And release. Inhale, we'll go hands to ground. Exhale, chaturanga, stepping right foot back, lowering. Inhale, cobra. So as we're inhaling, yes, the chest forward, you can feel that through the deep neck structure, so behind the mouth, the throat lifts away from the stomach. The stomach gently stretches away from the pelvis, the colon. Exhaling, lower. Downward dog. So those cobras, those upward dog, can be an entire gut tube and digestive tract meditation. Right? Mouth to anus. All right. So grabbing the strap as we inhale the left foot forward, warrior one. The strap is just to produce a little back side engagement. So I'm grabbing my strap in a chaturanga distance of my hands. So my hands are just a little wider than my torso. This is where my hands would be at the bottom of a chaturanga. So holding the strap close to your torso, inhale. And then exhale, pull the strap apart. The intent is to engage the backside. So feeling the middle parts of shoulder blades engaging. This is usually that last point in our shoulder shrugs that we attempt to squeeze and find. So releasing the pressure a bit, inhale into the mid-back. And exhaling, pull the strap apart. The shoulders glide down. The shoulder heads glide back toward the back of the body. This may even feel like a subtle chest or shoulder opening move. Let's do one more. Inhale, easing up on the pressures. And then exhaling, going in for the engagements, pulling the strap apart. You may subtly intone elbows together. You don't have to move them together. And release. Twisting warrior, inhale the right arm up. Exhaling the right elbow over the left thigh. The right hand makes a fist. Now, that back area that we just got a bit humming with that contraction, can you breathe into the back side of so it's a rhomboid area, mid-back muscle, which is the back of the diaphragm, the back of the low ribs. Can you feel your breath in that back side? There we go. And if we can feel our breath in that back side, we're less apt to be collapsing that mid-back spine area. Inhaling, unwind. We'll step the right foot forward for standing splits. Step to standing. Both hands grab left foot. Pressing left foot outward. And if straightening leg forward, then lift toward your face. And inhale, we'll set that left foot down. Exhaling, step the right foot back. I'm grabbing a block for revolved pyramid. So we're kind of revisiting some things. Sometimes in the revisit, the hope is the path there is a little bit etched for us. So I go right hand down to the ground. I could go inside the foot, but I'm going outside the foot for now. And inhale, let's draw that left arm toward the sky. Exhaling, the left sit bone, the sit bone's back. That entire gut tube can soften and lengthen. However, do you notice if I am strained in any way around the throat, if I'm collapsing or clutching around the vocal, the ujjayi, the deep neck structure, that this twist will feel really tight and kind of that squirmy, itchy feel. Soften internally. Feel the core soften. The deep neck, throat, ujjayi, tongue. There you go. Yeah. So the twist involves the throat, the mouth. Good. Inhaling will unwind. Set hands down, both hands down. Exhaling chaturanga will step the left foot back. Imagine you're pulling that strap apart as you lower, gliding the shoulders away from the jaw. Now inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. That deep neck structure is impacted by our lymph activity, right? There's a lot of deep comings and goings of interstitial fluid. There's a lot of things that need to be transported through this area of the body. So it's a high traffic area that does need a lot of openness and care. So inhale, step the right foot forward. We'll grab that strap for these shoulder shrug alternates. So I bring my hands as if at the bottom of a chaturanga, right? Strap near body. Inhale. And then exhale, pull that strap apart to engage right between the elbows, right between the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. And we'll do another. Before moving into twisting warrior. So we can set that strap off to the side as we exhale our left elbow to our right thigh. You can certainly play with, I didn't say this on the other side, you could play with imaginarily pulling the strap to move you into the twist. Right. Some of you are playing with that. That's it. Huh. Good. Inhale, unwinding to step the left foot to the top of the mat. Standing for standing splits. Both hands grab right foot. And we're stretching or sending this right foot forward. And then inhale, we'll set that right foot down. Stepping the left foot back, revolve pyramid. Exhaling the left hand down. The right arm up. So we're twisting to our right. Our right leg is forward in our pyramid stance, our straight-legged stance. And releasing, inhale, unwinding, setting hands under shoulders, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. So we'll work with scissors in stages. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Let me just run through a list of stages. You may find yourself wanting to just pause and be in one of these places more than the other. So one is forearms toward the ground. It's kind of getting a wash of breath through the backside. 2 is elbow, or rather arm, under thigh. Walking just the front leg forward and working half scissors, stretching the left leg forward. And 3 is where we're hand balancing, placing the right hip toward the right arm, moving into scissors. So let's start with we've got our right knee down, at least for now. Let's just at least give a couple of deep breaths into that back side, bringing the forearms down to the ground. And then from here on, it's a choose your adventure. So you can remain or proceed, moving into what seems interesting and right for you today. And I'm here to watch and see and learn from you. So if you want to stay with that head to ankle prep move, that's wonderful. Just breathing into the backside. You'll get a wonderful backside meditation. Yes, yes. There's scissor flight. Wonderful. I think the key with getting that back foot off the ground, if that is your aim, is to use 0 momentum. Use your toe pad to roll, push with the delicacy, like the delicateness that you were kind of moving weights on a scale. I never find that I can launch myself into or launch forward into scissors. All right. And then with the right foot behind us, we'll set those toes down. If you're transitioning out of scissors, try bending that left heel toward the butt and then stepping it back into chaturanga. You'll have to adjust the hands, of course. Inhale, upward dog, cobra if your hands need a rest. Exhaling, downward dog, feeling the back of the neck structure soften. Tailbone, the sit bones lifting away from the skull. Inhale the right foot forward. So we'll do that on the other side. So we'll start with just a few breath moments of that head to ankle prep move. Okay. Then from there, you're deciding if you continue into working your hand balancing, your scissors, or maybe you just want to keep the what do we call the head to ankle. And if you're going into scissors, go into scissors with the intent of stepping out and exiting. So you kind of have a hovering mind's eye toward how will I step back and out of this. So I think it's scissors. The way I find best is I just set my left toes, my back toes down, and I deeply bend my front leg, kind of taking the moment arm and all that leverage, bringing it back close to my body, and then stepping it straight back, chaturanga, adjusting hands. Inhaling, upward dog. The front of the throat opens. Right. Exhaling, downward dog. Some of you are getting into that front line and that gut area really interestingly. Super cool. Okay, we're going to do one more move on each side. Ostrich. Inhale, left foot forward. The stance is like warrior one. Interlacing hands behind back. Exhaling, hinging. So I'm liking this as a backside as much as wrist relief. So I've interlaced my hands such as I draw the palms apart, I get a nice bit of wrist relief. Inhaling, we'll bring the hands down to the sacrum, and then down to the ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. And one more ostrich, one more side. Inhale the right foot forward. Interlace hands, exhaling the chest inside the right thigh. Inhale, hands to sacrum, release them, set them to ground. Exhaling, we'll step that right foot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. And let's gently set the knees down. Having a seat as we set up for Vasana, so whatever feels restful to you. And in these remaining moments, what if we played with our breath as a fluid wash? This breath can reach every cell, every bone cell, blood cell, fat cell, brain cell. from skull to toes, from innermost core and marrow to skin to biofield. What if our breath could reach and wash fluidly from our present body all the way back to when we were barely a cell in our grandmother? And our breath can fluidly wash from our present body all the way into our future self and our next generation, next generation. And then feeling breath return and move and in and through your core. We are quite a continuum. Let's bend knees. Turn to a side. Press yourself up. There's a day for us. Namaste. See you soon.